Now it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Jazmine Darden. Jazz is an entrepreneur, educator, and creator. She's also a 2017 engineering, drafting, and design graduate from Dunwoody. Prior to attending Dunwoody, Jazz earned a Bachelor of Arts in Physics and a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from Augsburg College. Since graduating from Dunwoody, Jazz has used her boundless energy to invent, create, solve, and inspire. She returned to Dunwoody as an adjunct instructor in our Design for Manufacturing 3D printing program. She's founded several businesses, including a 3D printing company that made and donated more than 30,000 ear-saving mask accessories during the pandemic, which she trademarked Ear Hero. She also serves as the director of the Young Inventors Challenge with People Play, and still finds time to lead the Innovation Lab for 2 high school programs that provide STEM education. Jazz serves on the Dunwoody Alumni Board and was recently selected as one of the 2022 Women in Business honorees by the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal. We're pleased to have her with us today. Please join me in welcoming Jazmine Darden.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction, President Wagner. It's such an honor to be here today to tell you a bit about my story and hopefully leave you with a touch of inspiration. Take a deep breath. Take it in. Take this moment in. When I was young, I used to be really shy, like extremely shy. Every day, my mom would have to listen to me scream and cry as she dropped me off at preschool. And one day, we met outside, and the same thing. She'd have to listen to me scream and cry as she walked back to the car. By the time she got home, she had a voicemail to come back and pick me up. Apparently, my teacher was holding me, trying to comfort me, squatted down like this. And I don't know, what would you have done if you were in my situation? Because I bit my teacher in the cheek, and I didn't let go either. Now, I don't remember what the conversation was on the way home that day, but who would have thought that shy little girl would be standing up here in front of you today? Class of 2022. I said class of 2022. That's right. You made it. And on behalf of Dunwoody, we couldn't be more proud. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Class of 2022, instructors, staff, and everybody who supported them in the back, we made it. Thank you. Most of these students spent their entire Dunwoody career during the pandemic, and I couldn't give this speech without addressing their immense flexibility. To the instructors, we quickly had to switch to remote learning, recording our lectures, hating them, and then starting over. To the students, thank you for your flexibility and patience as we had our mics on mute. We had to navigate trying to have some students remote and some students in person, and for having to relearn all of your names after the mask mandate ended because I had no idea you had a mustache under there. Congratulations to the class of 2022. This will definitely be one to remember. It wasn't long ago, go ahead. It wasn't long ago that I was sitting in your seats eager to set out into the world. I graduated in 2017. I don't know what brought me there, but one day I stopped by Dunwoody after work, asked admissions for a tour, and the rest is history. I enrolled in the engineering, drafting, and design program. Now, mind you, I already had my bachelor's degrees in math and physics, but I knew this was the right step for me. I remember my first day of school getting lost in the Hogwarts of stairwells. I wore a V-neck t-shirt, shorts, Sperry's, and my hair down. My hair was a lot longer back then. I went to machine shop class, and my teacher said, "Don't ever show up like that here again." Well, I don't think that's exactly how it went, but after learning about machine shop safety, I knew that's pretty much what I heard. That day, I went home, got a bunch of pairs of the same jeans, a bunch of black t-shirts, boots, and safety glasses, because at Dunwoody, we learn how to do, and you have to be dressed and ready for it. I remember my first project I got to design in 3D print. I remember writing all over the whiteboards during study sessions with my classmates. No surprises that I became a teacher. I remember flying my drone in the gym And I remember my final project, making a fully working electric bike. For graduation, I made bow ties for all of my classmates and then had to tie them all for them because none of them knew how. It's a tradition I still carry on with my graduates today. You see, at Dunwoody, there's a legacy of those who came before you. It's a legacy of hard work and pride. I feel like every time I mention Dunwoody to people, they always tell me about somebody who graduated from here and all the great work they've set out to do. Now, no pressure to you guys. I know I'm leaving a legacy through the lives I've touched, like my little brother sitting over here who came through the 3D printing program. Yes, it's interesting to have your little brother in class, but I couldn't be more proud as he's now working as an application engineer for diversified plastics. Thank you. Share your story, make Dunwoody proud. I know this is what drives me to continue to do so much youth outreach, especially for little kids who look like me. I want to show them that there's opportunities out there for them too. A few years ago, I went to a school in Minneapolis and talked to over 60 preschoolers about 3D printing. I never think they're too young. I always leave them with something that they can take home that was 3D printed. So a few days later, I was roller skating at Roller Gardens, and all of a sudden I hear, "Jazz, Jazz." There was a lady off on the side that was calling my name. So I walked over to her, and I said, "I'm sorry, can you remind me how we know each other?" And she goes, "I don't, she does." She pointed down to this little girl who looked just like me. I squatted down to her level, and she said, "You gave me the dinosaur." And I was like, "Yeah. Do you remember how the dinosaur was made?" And she said, "The machine made it." And I was like, "Yes, the 3D printer." And she gave me a high five and skipped away. I continued to talk to her mom, and her mom said she had been standing there calling my name, but her voice wasn't quite powerful enough for me to hear it over the music. Now, little does that girl know how powerful that conversation was to me. You never know what impact you have on other people. Welcome to the Dunwoody legacy. Thank you. Now I have a question. When was the last time you tried something for the first time? Honestly, think of something specific that you tried for the first time. What did it feel like? Was it fun and exciting? Were you nervous or scared? Was it one time's enough, or would you go out and do it again? No matter what you felt or what emotion you had, it doesn't matter, it's fine. Some of you guys might be nervous to walk across this stage today because what if you trip? Or what if you go to shake hands with the wrong hand? Or what if you drop your degree? But I promise you this, tomorrow, next week, or next year, you will remember that you graduated today because today you are doing something new. It's a big moment. Think back to that moment of doing something for the first time. Is there anything vivid you remember seeing? Anything you can smell or taste? Maybe it's something that you remember hearing or something you can feel to the touch. Just like today, take all of this in. The reason why you remember all of those things is because your brain was fired up taking all that new information in, which made that event memorable. Remember today to make today memorable. People often ask me, how did I overcome my shyness, or how did I become so adventurous? It's something I think about a lot, actually, and I think I just landed on the answer. It's because I'm constantly trying new things, taking in new experiences, being proud of who I'm becoming, and I have stories to share. I want to encourage each one of you to become somebody who tries something new. And it doesn't have to be anything big. Those things don't have to be related to each other or related to any kind of goal. Like today, I am giving a commencement speech for the first time. This is the biggest speech I've done in my life, and I feel confident and prepared, not because I practiced a bunch of times. I mean, I did a few, but because I have felt nervous and excited about so many things before. The feeling of stepping out of my comfort zone is familiar to me, and so I took that into today. I prepared myself by having a whole bunch of new experiences over the last few months. I flew a hawk and let it land on my arm. I went to a circus. I took a class on glass blowing and pottery. I picked up a marker and literally just started drawing. I went axe throwing, I went rock climbing. I took a yoga class, even though I couldn't touch my toes. All of these new experiences prepared me for today. I hosted an award show. I was on the History Channel. And just 2 days ago, I got scuba certified. Thanks. I'm excited to start exploring. That first breath that I took underwater is one I will always remember. It pushed me physically, mentally, and emotionally, but all of these experiences prepared me to be here today. Now, people usually say they don't want to try something new because they're not going to be good at it, but who cares? No one, stop putting so much pressure on yourself. No one is expecting you to put on a pair of ice skates and be able to go out and do a triple axel. But these new experiences come with, or the more new experiences we have, the more we loosen up this fear of failure, the more confidence we get, and then the more we can go out and try more new things. When you start trying new things, you'll start meeting new people. I've made some of the most incredible connections just by going to that conference, attending an art show, or going to that get-together that I felt like I really didn't know anybody. You never know who you're going to meet or what connections you're going to make. You know the saying, I was in the right place at the right time? We've heard that before. I want you to give yourselves more credit. Sure, sometimes it is pure coincidence, but most times you put yourself in that right place at that right time. And don't forget to live to the level of your smile. Let me explain. I was on a forum, an online forum for downhill skiing, and someone asked the question, how do I know what level to ski when I travel to the mountains, the real mountains out west? I was like, that's a good question. And someone simply put, ski to the level of your smile. I loved this. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you ski greens, blues, black diamonds, or double black diamonds. You don't want to be panicking out on the mountain, but you don't want to be bored either. Find that sweet spot. And so I took this and related it to life. Live to the level of your smile. I started telling people about this, and I very quickly got challenged at an aerospace luncheon. They said, if you always live to the level of your smile, when will you challenge yourself? When will you push yourself out of your comfort zone and grow? All eyes were back on me, and I quickly had to think of a response. And so I told this story. One day I was climbing at the bouldering gym. So bouldering is just rock climbing, but without a harness. The climbs aren't quite as high, and the floor is really thick gymnastics mats, just to give you guys a visual picture. So I was climbing up a route that was at the top of my ability. I got about halfway up, and that next hold was way out of reach. I would have to step on this tiny little hold with my right foot and reach up to another tiny hold with my left hand, and so I climbed back down. Someone saw me do this, and they walked over to me and said, just try it. Just go for it. And so I did. I climbed back up. I got stuck in the same spot. But this time, I planted my right foot, stepped really hard, reached up with my left hand, got my fingertips on this crimp hold, slipped, fell, landed on my feet, and rolled onto my back. They walked over to me and said, are you okay? And I said, yes. And they said, well, how do you feel? And I said, I feel great. I almost had it. You see, for me, I had way more pride in myself for going for it and falling than when I did when I just climbed back down. Falling doesn't have to mean failing. And so for me, that is living to the level of my smile. It's challenging myself. It's pushing myself out of my comfort zone. It's going for it and sometimes coming up short. And this relates to all aspects of life. Go for it. Try it. But if you do, put in so much effort, so if you do come up short, you can still be proud that you tried. We are full of so much potential that is just waiting to be tapped into. Don't leave that sitting on the table. Explore, adventure, become someone who tries something new. It doesn't have to be anything big, but start small. You'll watch your confidence soar. Thanks. Now, I I know there are challenges to trying new things. Some of you guys might be hearing me speak and say, yeah, well, I don't have the time or the money, or I don't know where to start. But start small. Maybe it's something you already do. If date night is dinner and a movie, pick up dinner and eat it in the back of your pickup truck, and then go watch one of those free movies that are in the park. Look at billboards or social media advertisements. Or just look up unique things to do in your area. There's events that are happening all throughout the city, and they would love to have you. I can't say it enough. Go attend city fairs, attend high school musicals, try a new art project, build a fort in your living room, explore the downtown skyway system, make something out of toilet paper rolls, have a Cheerio stacking competition, read comic books, or just learn about something new. Sometimes we get stuck in these daily routines, or sometimes we feel really stuck in life. Maybe it's time for a change. Now, there's a ton of challenges out there. You could try something new every day for 30 days, or you could try something new every day for a year. But I don't want this to be a challenge, because then what happens? You start doing it for the challenge and not for yourself. And if you mess up, you start feeling guilty. How many of you have tried a 30-day diet? I definitely have. You don't have to raise your hand. It's fine. You don't have to raise your hand. But if you made it, what happened on that 31st day? Exactly, okay? I don't want trying something new to be that. This is a lifestyle for us to just have new experiences, to step out of our comfort zone, to get out of our daily routines, to add some excitement, to gain confidence, to make new connections, and to live to the level of your smile. Because if that shy little girl who bit her preschool teacher in the face can stand up here and give a speech in front of all of you today, you may not even know what you're capable of yet. So to each of you I say, let's make life more memorable. Welcome to the Dunwoody legacy. Thank you.